Hello again, my name's Gabe Zollner. Well, if you've watched some of my previous videos, I believe you might recall that I have said that the 2014 midterm is probably the most significant and important election in this country's history. And there's a whole lot of reasons as to why that's the case. There's a New York representative by the name of Jose Serrano. Now, Jose has passed this bill a number of times into the Senate and into the House for their review and consideration. So far, it hasn't made it out the other end, but it's in for review and consideration as we speak. H.J. Res 5. Now, what H.J. Res 5 does is it pretty much repeals the 22nd Amendment. The 22nd Amendment, if you're not familiar with it, what it does is it limits a president to 2 four-year terms. You might remember that Franklin Roosevelt, he died after the beginning of his 4th term in 1945. A bill was passed to amend the Constitution to establish a 2-term limit for presidents. 4 years later, the amendment was ratified by the request of a number of the states and was enacted as the 22nd Amendment, and that took place in 1951. Now, what's frightening is that if this Res 5, if passed by both houses of Congress and ratified by 3/4 of state legislators, such an amendment would allow any president to serve an unlimited number of terms in office. It would not, however, establish anyone as president for life, because it would not remove the requirement that the president be elected to office every 4 years. So what that really means is if this bill passes, then Obama won't necessarily be allowed to be president for life, but he'll come up for election every 4 years. And the way he's turning the country into a color of blue, pretty good chance he's going to stay there for the rest of his life. You don't think this is a possibility? Well, go look up Resolution 5. Study up on the 22nd Amendment. I gotta believe, as I've said before, he doesn't have any plans to leave. I gotta believe that there is a mosque built into the White House to accommodate both himself, to accommodate John Brennan, who is an open converted follower of Islam, to accommodate all of the other Muslim Brotherhood members that he's peppered throughout our government. He's not going to let go, folks. And Res 5 is what's going to put him into office countless times. That's why it's critical that the Senate is converted over to the Republicans. If that doesn't happen, and if they don't retain the House, I have no doubt at all that Res 5 will sail through both chambers. And this clown won't leave. You think not? Well, you're entitled to think whatever you like. Go do a little bit of research on Res 5. Go try to find how many times this clown, this New York representative who serves his constituents, has submitted this document for consideration and hopeful passage as far as he's concerned. Obama is never going to step down willingly. If our military doesn't remove him, no one will. That's what I think. So what do you think?